Ducked off low key, yeah, you know me. Kickin' with Tyree, hit it 3 like Kyrie.
To meet you, Tyree Pope the Third. What an amazing set of names.
Thank you.
My name is Zola Marcelle. I'm Zimbabwean-born. I don't actually describe myself by country, but I'm born in Zimbabwe, based in London. I'm a Shona and Sutu artist. I'm a singer and songwriter, producer, multidisciplinary. I make these things on my head. I do some filming as well.
So, what first drew you to music? When did you realize this was a language you wanted to express yourself through?
My family are musical. My dad is a drummer and my mom sings, and they met in a band actually in the 60s. So I think it was destined, and my whole family is musical. So it's not just me, it's my sister, my brother, my cousins, everyone has got some kind of musical bone. So it feels like it was kind of given to me, to be honest. I didn't really have a choice. It's just like, look, it's in your blood, handle it. So
Here's a piano,
Pardon me, I'm sorry, what'd you say?
I just said, I was just laughing. It was like late, or when you're young, you're just like, here's a piano, figure it out.
Yeah, you get it. Actually, one time I was singing in church with a friend of mine, and my dad was like, it's not really going very well. And he stopped us midway through the song and he was just like, thank you so much, girls. Have a good practice. We'll see you next week. And I'm like, whoa, my own father. So to your point, right? Like, yeah, figure it out. Just, so yeah.
Early on, who were some of the artists or musicians who shaped your sound?
So I grew up, funny enough, we listened to a lot of Black American music. So we listened to Andre Crouch. We listened to Stevie Wonder quite a bit as well on vinyl. And those were big, Earth and Fire, they were big ones as well. But then also on the sort of Southern African side, I grew up listening to a lot of South African jazz. So Sibongile Khumalo was a big one. Stimela was a big one. Hugh Masekela. There are a few different names of this type that I grew up listening to. So it kind of went between Black America and South Africa.
I love that. Stevie Wonder, for me, I always say Stevie Wonder is like he's not forgotten about, but he's not talked about enough as like greatest musician of all time.
It's weird. You're so right. Yeah. And he really is like almost non-contested. You can't, who are you going to bring up as a close second? Like really?
It's not really anyone who's on that level of Stevie Wonder. And I think it's because like Michael Jackson was so big at the same time and Prince was so big around the same time that he kind of gets forgotten about. But it's kind of his like albums are better.
Well, I feel like that way with Quincy because people give Quincy ratings for Michael Jackson's material. It's like, this man is a jazz like trumpeter way before we even get there. This guy is like best friends. Okay, maybe not best friends, but he knows the whole Duke Ellington, that whole scene. He's there, right? And that's where things kind of start and then it continues. So maybe Stevie and Quincy in terms of
maybe those two.
Yeah.
For you, jazz is built on improvisation and like personal expression. How would you describe your musical voice?
Yeah. I only found it recently. It's inspired by things I am and things I don't know. And I say that to say that a lot of it is relying on cultural memory and understanding that I'm a member of the soil, whether or not I like it. So it's kind of allowing whatever comes from me to be what it is. And the way I describe it now is I represent the soil and the bloodline. So that's how the music, however it sounds, is whatever it's going to be. Do you know? Yeah, but it's about representing the soil.
Okay, that phrase, you represent the soil and the bloodline. Like, what does that mean? Could you describe that a little bit more for me so I can have a little bit of more understanding? Yeah, I like that phrase though.
Yeah. So the soil, in Shona, there's a term, you say, didn't want to wear evil, which means I am a child of the soil. And it goes beyond the sort of poetics of it. It's about talking about the people that you come from, whose bodies may be in the soil, but their spirits are not. And so if you are also coming from that place, you are carrying with you a lineage, you are carrying with you people that go way beyond 200, 300 years. I am a direct descendant of someone who existed 5,000 years ago. Like that's wild. And so when I say I'm representing the bloodline, that's all of the people I know and all the people I don't know, all the ones who came before and all the ones who will come after. That's what I mean.
Oh, I love that. I just wanted you to expand on that a little bit more. So, and I think that's beautiful. I'm doing a documentary right now where I'm kind of following, or I've had to follow kind of my bloodline and look back on generations and see where everyone's scattered to, and from the Delta, Mississippi, and then to Milwaukee, to St. Louis, to all over, but just kind of seeing like starting from like one matriarch and then kind of spreading out and seeing like who everyone became from that situation. Because my great grandma had, I think, 15 siblings or something like that. She was the oldest of 15.
That's amazing.
So to think about it like that, like, okay, where is the 15? Where did the 15 go? So, because I only knew my grandmother. So where are the other 15,
How do you feel? Like when you find out some new intel, what does that do for you?
It just, it kind of puts together a story of like why our family is the way it is, or why, we tend to go towards certain things, like whether that's some of us work in healthcare, some of us work in entertainment, some of us play basketball, play sports, and it goes, it's kind of directly within our bloodline. Like you said, like it's genetic. The way everything is kind of like genetic, and whether that's trauma, whether that's the way you look at life a little differently, or I've also noticed like when you get like a certain like tense or paranoia about a certain situation, I've always felt like it's because it's genetic, like something happened within your DNA in this situation before that has you like this angst,
Yeah, that's the
towards
thing.
it. Yeah.
That's a thing. Yeah. And I actually think that kind of feeling, the tinge and your recognition of it is quite specific to a certain group of people, if you catch my drift. And so that makes a lot of sense to me. I completely understand that. And I hope that your search brings you much more information that you can use for your life and for the ones around you as well.
Yeah. Because you got to know where you come from so you don't, either repeat past mistakes or, you can teach your future children, grandchildren about where they come from type of deal. So that's why I started doing it in the first place.
That's great.
Back into the question.
By the way.
When you're performing live, how much room do you leave for improvisation and spontaneity? So, like, are you improving on stage, or are you leaving it to the song?
The answer is I'm improvising all the time. Yes. However, there is balance, right? So there's knowing, like, you've got to know the song you're singing. So there's singing the song as you know it. And then sometimes there are just moments where I feel like they don't need to do what they did in the rehearsal space. And that to me has always been about how well you know the music. So I would say that 30% of it is knowing the music. The other 70 is leaving it to whatever the room is feeling like. Because as much as I might feel what I'm feeling, I have to be aware of what people around me are, what they are. And that makes a really big difference to how much improvising happens. But me, knowing me, everything changes every single time. And I wouldn't have it any other way. I absolutely love it. I think it's wonderful.
And that's the beauty of music, you know,
Yeah.
and every show is going to be different. Every show is going to have a different energy to it. So you have to sometimes bring a different energy in. I can see
100%.
that.
Yeah. Also, sometimes, you know, like I've been around major pop shows, and there are moments where you have to kind of write in the interaction between the audience, and that has to stay the same no matter where you go. And I look at that and I admire it. I don't envy it because, you know, different rooms feel different and you respond to people differently. So I enjoy that jazz allows me to do that, and that the jazz space allows us all to just be here and now without holding anything else. Tell me what you think.
I like that. You talked about like having deep roots also in like Black cultural history and jazz. How do you see your work contributing to that legacy today?
Oh, thanks so much for that question. Thank you so much for that. You know, Zimbabwe, Shona people in Zim we haven't had a big legacy in jazz. That being said, I remember Gil Scott-Heron, the great, talking about how jazz is miscellaneous. That's his definition of jazz. And I love that, because what that does is it kind of makes it very clear that as Black people and as Africans globally, this is what we do. We go with the flow and we feel it and we express it, and then we move on to the next thing. And then we feel it and express it and we move on. That's what we all do. All of us do that, whether or not it's in a Black American context or a Afro-Caribbean context or a Nigeria, like whatever it is, we flow. And so as a Shona person, my whole thing now is representing Shona language and Shona culture. I'm also Sutu, but more on that another time. Representing Shona culture in this kind of improvised state. And whether or not I call it jazz is, we can call it jazz for now. But it's kind of, this is, we create and we flow. Shona doesn't really have a lot of that in the music. So I feel quite proud to be able to represent it in these sort of futuristic ways that I think I'm going for. Does that make sense?
Like that. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. For you, do you feel like you're combining two different worlds into one? Is that how you feel about
like
your music?
Three different worlds into one. That's the thing.
Yeah, three different worlds.
On the real, like, it's three different worlds. There's I was born in Bulawayo in Zimbabwe, and whilst I only left when I was 6, a lot of what I have with me now, we carried on the culture when we got to London. So I didn't feel too far removed. At the same time, I was having to deal with the fact that I now go to school with Billy, you know, or Luke, or someone who I'm like, oh, okay, this is new. I don't learning London culture, simultaneously knowing that I'm a Sutu person. My mom is Sutu, and she spoke a lot of Sutu around us, but she didn't teach us the language. So it's now I have started teaching myself with the help of her and my aunties and some of my cousins as well. So it's like, okay, there's the Shona world, there's the London world, there's the Sutu world, and all of these three just combining. And this is why I'm saying a lot of it is also relying on, to some degree, cultural memory, to some degree. Some things I'm just not going to know because I don't know. But for the ones that feel instinctive and intuitive, those are the things I go for. And that's what drives everything, is just the intuition.
That's
So, yes.
beautiful. And that drives into the music as well, I would guess. Especially, it's like historically, we've had to, you know, teach ourselves normally the music. And then I think that's where, you know, things like jazz came from, is you know, we didn't have the formal teachings of these instruments, so we became more spontaneous with it. We improved a lot more because this is how we knew how to play. It wasn't with some structure. It was with, okay, we're in this key and
Let's go. Figure it out.
let's go. Yeah, you figure
Yeah.
it out within there, you know, and like I come from, you know, a long line of bass players who taught themselves how to play bass, you
No
know, and
way.
or taught themselves how to play the guitar or any instrument, you know. And that's always been how I've had to do everything, is like teach myself
Wow.
versus like, I mean, I went to school for film, but I never felt like a class taught me anything, you know,
Do
actually
you
doing it.
So do you wish that that was reversed? If you could change that, would you?
No, I would
Really?
rather figure it out on my own than like go to piano class or go to guitar lessons. I feel like figuring it out on your own just has a way different type of satisfaction. I don't know.
It's true. No, you're not lying. You're absolutely right. Yes.
Because
Because
once
you
you
don't.
figure it out, so sorry. Yeah.
No, you go ahead.
I was just saying, because once you figure it out, it's your style, you know, like it's your way of doing it. You could probably never tell someone else how to do it. You could show them, but you could never like teach it because it's like naturally how you figured out how to play, and it fits your body a lot. You know, like it's like secondhand at that point once you figure it out after teaching yourself.
I agree. I also think that's the magic of Black people. Just you're not replicating any of it, no matter how much you try. It's just not going to happen. So I get that a lot. Yeah, I hear it. Makes sense.
What keeps you inspired when you're creating music?
Oh, yeah. Just having another opportunity to represent the things I said before. Every song feels like another opportunity to do that. I think that as human beings, you know, like we're all aware that we are on borrowed time or limited time or whatever. My endeavors are to make sure that every single opportunity I have to create something that moves the culture forward, I take those. It's really important. It's like the only thing I'm living for now, is to ensure that the culture is reestablished and rebuilt in some kind of way. Not to return, because we can't return, but we can rebuild and we can reestablish, and that's the only thing that's on my mind. So that's the only thing that keeps me inspired. If the song, you know, sometimes the songs may not necessarily be about culture. They may just be about being human and human experiences. The difference is, how do I express those emotions in a culturally coded way? You know, that's the thing. And learning more and more each day how to ensure that whatever I'm communicating is coded in the culture and in a movement forward for Southern Africanness, for Bantu people, for Shona people.
As your parents being musical influences for you, how do they feel about your music?
Okay. So, Tyree, there's two sides to it, right? One side is they're like, oh, we're so proud of you. You're so amazing. Oh my God. No. There's another side, which like none of us talks about. But there's another side that's like, so what did you just say on this thing? Because also the thing is, I'm in a very unique situation because the only person in my family right now, both the only person in my family, in my nuclear family, who's going to understand everything I'm saying is my mom. She's the only one who's going to fully understand what I'm saying on some of these tracks. Like my siblings are not going to get it. No one else is going to get it. I don't think she's listened to all the songs because it's not even like they're crazy risque songs. It's just thematically, I think we're just in different places. So I think that overall there's a pride. I think on a micro level, we're in different places. That's what I think. But like also my family, and not just my family, like Shona people can be very non-confrontational people. We just see it and go, oh, okay. And just like, And I feel like in my family, this is a thing as well. So one day I'll ask them, I mean, I'm going to keep writing things that are true to me. And well, we'll find out. We'll find out what the micro.
It's like, oh, you said that, but not say anything about what you said. That's an interesting choice.
Yeah, right? I was in the studio 2 weeks ago with a DJ from South Africa. He's a petty guy. Anyway, he was listening to one of the songs that I played them a song, right? And he was listening, and I forget that people from South Africa can hear what I'm saying, at least partially. So then he hears it and he's like, wait, what? And I'm like, just keep it going. Don't ask me any questions. Just keep pressing play. And I forgot that that's a possibility and it's a potentiality. An eventuality. It's gonna keep happening. And I'm excited, to be honest with you. I think it's fantastic. I'm gonna keep saying all the things.
Say all the things. With you being at South by Southwest, what are you most excited about? The chaos like that is South by Southwest. Like, what are you most excited about, especially with the crowds, with performing? What's something you're excited about?
Yeah, I'm mostly excited and I'm more hopeful than anything that people take to what's happening. Because I don't know how much what I make is common. And it's not even to say that the music is this special big woo-ha. It's just the mix between languages and the form that some things take is just not a thing. And even writing it and releasing it in London was like, okay, well, hope for the best. And so I hope that people in Austin who are coming from all over, I hope that they can go, yeah, that'd be cool. And also, I'm trying to get that brisket. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm trying to find out what's going on with the beef.
You gotta be careful.
Why?
Okay, so my first time in Texas, right? We go to a barbecue spot. I'm like, oh, they got all the meats. Like, you can order whatever. They didn't tell me that it was about to run up the way it did. They're like, yeah, you can get whatever. I was like, all right, let me get the brisket. I want a rib. I want a beef rib too. That's where I got caught. The beef rib. That'll run your pockets right there. And then I get up there and it was $93. I was like, hold up. This is just me. 93 for just me. I was like, oh my God. But you'll find some brisket. Somebody will have a food truck probably down there or something. You'll definitely find some brisket or something.
I'm going to spend $93 to be fair. But if I did it, no, that's not going to work. Half the price we can get with that.
Yeah. Half the price. They just took me to like probably the bigger, like it was like a restaurant. And I was like, y'all have to warn me that this costs a lot. I didn't know if I got the beef rib, it was going to throw me off like that. Especially, I got it to really like, okay, I'm going to take a couple bites of each thing, and I'm going to take some of it home.
Right.
I would have just came back another day and got
exactly. So wait, did you try the beef rib in the end?
Yeah, it was really good.
Okay,
yeah.
At least it was kind of worth it, right?
It was worth it. It was definitely worth it. I was just, my cousins call me the cheapest person they know. So anything, I'm super cheap. Like it don't matter what it is. It don't matter what it is. If I spend my money, I'm gonna complain about it.
Like that's $1 worth of like
Yeah.
Why the hell? Oh, that's so good.
Oh
Thank
yeah.
you for warning, actually, because I don't like spending money either. So this is good. Now I know. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, be careful. A little bit careful. You gotta look at the prices before and just be like, oh yeah, how much is that? Just get a warning first, you know. I'm out here. I had like 3 sides, 3 meats, and then I was like, yeah, I did too much. I did way too much.
and you, yeah. Well, now you've learned the lesson though. And you can pass it on like really valuable lessons to me as a like as a foreigner. I'll be there, like, now. Yeah, thanks. It's really helpful.
Yeah, Texas or Austin is not like it's like different than all of the rest of Texas. I'd say it's a little different, but it's a good spot. I'd say, especially with South by Southwest going on. It's just going to be tons of people.
Yes,
but I think that's what makes it good. Like there's everything going on, and you will find like the right crowd might find you because there's so many different crowds of people. There's tech, there's politicians, there's filmmakers, musicians. There's this. It's like 4 festivals in one. It feels like. And it
sounds like there could be some really fascinating conversations to be had there, and I'm a sucker for a good conversation. So, now that you've highlighted this, I'm like, let me just go look for all the techies and find out what's going on in their world, And
yeah, when's your show? I can't remember what date it was.
2. I've got Saturday the 14th at Downright at the Backyard, and then Sunday the 15th with Jazz Refreshed. That's all the crew that are coming from London. That's going to be at the Flamingo Cantina. I think
So I think the 14th or 15th is the XR, like the tech conference type of deal.
Okay.
So they'll have like different like immersive reality showcases and stuff. So that
I'm curious.
Check it out. Yeah. I've interviewed a couple people from it, and all their stuff sounds pretty interesting. So let's check it out.
Much. Yeah. If you come across anything else that would be of value, if you know really great food spots, like please just email them to me or something, because
I will. I definitely will. And I feel like food is the last thing on my mind at some of these festivals, because they love to send them prices up. So sometimes I'm like, I'll eat when I eat, but I have busy days sometimes. So when doing press, I'm trying to go to shows, because this is like 2 festivals in one for me. I normally do either a music festival or a film festival. This is both together.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, I hear it.
So I'm just running around all day for the first couple of days, and then I'm a chill. Sunday is like my chill days. And then I'm probably just be chilling the rest of the time, doing a couple things a day. But the first couple of days, it's like insane. But
I can imagine.
For you, I'm just going to close out on a question here. We're heading up on the 30 minutes. Looking ahead, what kind of musical stories or projects are you excited to explore next?
I'm just trying to do more of what I've begun. I'm hoping that the right people speak through me, and I'm hoping that the right people can hear what needs to be heard as well. Also, if I'm being honest, what I really want is I want my music to be part of a bigger narrative that isn't about me. I want it to be about us rather than me. And so I'm hoping that it sparks more people from of culture to make stuff and to reestablish. That's all I care about.
That's beautiful. And I want to thank you. That's all I have for you today. Thank you for kicking it with me.
Ducked off low key, yeah, you know me. Kick it with Tyree, hit it 3 like Kyrie.